Alright guys, Shalom Aleichem. Hello everybody. My name is Eliyahu Pereira. I'm here visiting from Tzfat, Yer HaKodesh. Baruch Hashem, I was last week the whole entire week in New York. Got here to South Florida yesterday. Did an event in Hollywood, and Baruch Hashem, this was one of the most asked for places for me to show up to, House of More, and we got help from quite a few people, David, Meir, and many other people that sent this establishment messages. I know that. It's a zchut to be here. There's a lot of good things that have come out of this organization and this house. A lot of healing. And B'ezrat Hashem, hopefully a little bit of that will happen tonight as well. Understand a little bit more of the days that are ahead of us. The truth is that I wanted to give you over a certain lesson, but the book is somewhere in Bal Harbor, so we're going to have to go on a freestyle. In the zchut of the tzaddikim, B'ezrat Hashem, we'll touch on some deep topics, the work of Rosh Hashana, what we have to understand, what we have to focus our mind on during Rosh Hashanah, those 48 hours, in order to B'ezrat Hashem start a new year from a place of more connection to Hashem and more authenticity, more emunah with ourselves, and with the world and with the people around us. Reb Nachman once said, Ayom chayti chaim tovim. Today I lived a good life. Why? Because he knew the purpose of that day. He knew what the purpose of that day was. So just knowing what the purpose was and fulfilling that, that was a good life. That was a good day. We all have a purpose in this world. We all came from a very lofty place. The Mekubalim and the Midrash talk about the descent of the neshama down from where it's cut from. A light of Hashem that's basking in the rays and just enjoying the radiance of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and it's told that it has to come down here and to unify itself with a mind and with a heart inside of a body, and for the three of them to live together and to be in this world in order to serve Hashem. And the neshama's job is to slowly, in the beginning, as you're just being born and brought into this world and growing, for the neshama to slowly drop down lights from lofty places in order to develop the mind, to develop the heart. And in the beginning of our lives, we start to grow by way of direct connection to our source. We nurse from our mothers. We're in our home with our families. We're very close to being dependent on something bigger than us. And that's how it was for the neshama before it came down to the body. It's like if you take a flame, a candle, a match, and you put it next to a bonfire, the match almost doesn't have any significance next to the huge flame that is the bonfire. So the same thing, the neshama was in a place and it was joyful being in that place. It was happy being in a place where I don't have my own self-expression separate from Hashem. But Hashem, like the Midrash says, Kadosh Baruch Hu chafetz sheyeh lo dira betachtonim. Hashem wants a dwelling place down here in this world, in the lowest places. So that neshama was sent down in order to raise this brain and this heart and to bring them both closer to serving it in order to fulfill the will of Hashem in this world. It's not an easy process. It's what's called nesira. Linsor in Hebrew is to saw off, to cut off, to separate. We have this in the beginning of the Torah as well. Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve are created together. And at a certain point there's an act of separation where they become two separate people. At a certain stage they were back to back, and now they have to face each other face to face. That's the whole goal, to be able to be in unity. The Mekubalim explain that there's two main kavanot, there's two main works that we have to do on Rosh Hashanah. One is the work of nesira, this separation, where you become a separate entity from God, or so it appears. And the other is shofarot. It's to blow the shofar. And we have to understand what are these two works and how can we apply them, how can we be in the right mindset by the time Rosh Hashana comes, because as soon as Shabbat comes here, we're not going to have the time. From then on, your preparation is already on the level of physicality, on the level of getting things done and the actions that you need to do in order to prepare for the Chag. Now is the time to try our best to get our nefesh ready for this day, these 2 days that are one, and to try to mentally understand what is the work of Nesirah and what is the work of the Shofarot. So first things first is the Nesirah. And it's a much harder process, it's a much longer process, and it's a little bit more tricky than the Shofar. The work of Nesirah is to understand that you have to crown Hashem over you, over your life. You have to understand what is your life about. Like Reb Nachman said, today I lived a good life because I knew the purpose. So what was the purpose? What is the purpose of each day? What is the purpose of our life? Why is it that Hashem sent a spark of His own essence, so to say, down here to this world to become part of a body and to live here with all this confusion, with all this? And the time to mainly focus on this kavanah, this intention, is when we say Zochenu l'chaim, Melech Chafetz b'chaim, Kotvenu b'sefer chaim, L'ma'anach Elohim chaim. Remember us for life, a king who desires life. Write us in the book of life. For the sake of you, God, living King. So we were sent down here, and we have to act. And Hashem sent us in the world, and He gave us Torah and mitzvot, and He gave each one of us a unique thing that we like, a special tikkun, a unique thing that only we can do in this world. On the side of positivity, on the side of negativity, things to put all of our might in doing, and things to put all in our might in running away from. The balance of trying to become a better person. And a lot of life comes down to aspirations. What do I aspire to be? For those of you who maybe have participated in breathwork here in this house or in other places, right? So aspiration, inspiration, respiration, those are all connected to breathing. And they're all connected to becoming better, aspiring to become more. Same thing in Hebrew, she'ifa. What's your sheifot? What are your sheifot? What are you aspiring to be? I've said it a few times now since I've been here, because there's some confusion and it keeps coming up, but I'm now going to preemptively say it. Ladies, quick question. I want you guys to answer vocally. If the men in your lives, if your husband were to only keep the ketubah, only keep the marriage contract, just the marriage contract, but perfectly, 100%, he keeps every word that's written there, would you be happy? No. Just that? No, why? He's keeping everything he signed up to do. Nothing more, but he's keeping the contract. No? Why not? That's not what you signed up. That's not what's called marriage, right? That's not a wedding. That's not a unity between two souls. That's just, we had an agreement, I'm keeping it. So the same thing in Avodat Hashem, the same thing in our connection to Hashem. We have mitzvot, we have things that we have to do, and we're each on our own level, right? There's those that pray 3 times a day and learn 2 hours of Torah. There's those that pray once a day. Everybody has their level that they're on. Everybody has. I'm not coming now to judge anybody or where you are and to compare lives. That's not the goal. Every word that's coming out of my mouth is directed to you as an individual on your own level. You have to be real with yourself and take whatever I'm saying and bring it into your own world. Even if I use examples, don't get stuck on the examples and the way I'm saying it. Translate everything to you and your own level and where you're at. What is your life? What are your aspirations? Because doing what you have to do is not life. That's not what we signed up for. That's not why we have a relationship with Hashem, to keep the Torah. It's an integral part of it. You can't really get into deeper levels of relationship without it, but that's not the goal. The goal is the deeper relationships. These are tools. So we have to clarify, what are our aspirations? What are we going into the year Because right at that moment, what's happening, according to the Yichud of the Arizal and all the teachings of the Rosh, all the Kabbalists, what the Baal Shem Tov has to say at that moment when you say Zochenu L'chaim, Melech Chafetz B'chaim, right now you are being given the ability to act in this world, to aspire, to get things done, to go out, to be active, to be a doer, to make a house like this for other people to come and be part of, to give a shiur, to host a shiur, to donate, to act, to be a father, a mother, a parent, a husband, a wife, to show up to work, to show up to pray however many times a day, to do anything in this world. At that moment of Zochenu on Rosh Hashanah, you are being given all of your koach, all of your ability to do something, anything in this world. Anything. And Rosh Hashanah is not just for the Jews. It's one of the few chagim that the Chazal make an emphasis to tell us the whole entire world is coming under this process right now. Everybody is involved in the Rosh Hashanah energies. The plants, the goyim, every single thing in the world is involved in this download of Zochenu L'chaim, Melech Chafetz B'chaim. Remember us for life, a king who desires life. But what life does Hashem desire for us? And again, if you know my classes, you know I'm not coming to tell you right now, you have to do full tshuva and keep everything and wear black and white. That's not how I talk, and it's not what I mean. I don't ever negate halacha, it's an integral part. I'm not coming to say it again. It's on your own level. It's your own levels of aspirations. What can we be doing that we can put more in it? There's some people that merit to learn hours of Torah one day. And there's some people that have to work hours of in an office or in a job every day. And they get 1 hour of Torah. They get 30 minutes of Torah. But what's your life? The job or that hour? On Rosh Hashanah, you have to make that decision. The Baal Shem Tov says when a Jew goes to work, his hands are busy and his head is flying in Elokut. There's no problem working in this world. But as a Jew, your brain should be free to do whatever it needs to be doing, and that's to connect to Hashem, that's connect to a deeper thing, a source where you draw down hope and joy and connection and everything you need, the emunah that there's always going to be a better day and you're going to be able to renew yourself and you're going to be able to get out of whatever restraints are holding you back. Your mind has to be tapped into a place that's rooted much higher than what's going on in this world. So during that moment, I highly recommend that each one of you, every time you come up, and it's the whole entire 10 days of tshuva, everything that starts on Rosh Hashanah, over the next 10 days until Yom Kippur, it's so to say suspended in the air. Rosh Hashanah, they take a look at you and say, okay, no matter what we write down right now, just know you have 10 days to fix it all, to elevate it, to take it to the next level. No matter how we see you right now in Rosh Hashanah, you have 10 days to step it up for yourself. For yourself. And that whole entire 10 days we're saying Zochenu L'chaim, Melech Chafetz B'chaim. And every single time you say it, you're getting the download you need for this upcoming year to go out in the world and do, and to live, and to have a life. The only question you have to ask yourself is, what is that life? What is my life? Is it the physicality? Is it the materialism? Is it my job? Because wherever your life is, whatever you consider to be your life, that's where your aspirations are going to be. So if your life is your job, then you're going to put way more hours there. And you're going to try to make the most money and put your all into it. And is that really your life? I'm not saying it's not. Just ask yourself the question. Is that really where all my aspirations go? The famous question. I grew up here in Miami, but it's part of the reasons I left this country is the famous question when you meet someone, what do you do? It literally tears my neshama out of my body, that question. Because their intention always is, what is your job? What is your career? It's never actually, what is your essence of what you're doing in this world? What were you brought to the world for? It's not to be a car salesman, it's not to sell real estate, and it's not to do cash advance, guys. It's not that. It's definitely not why any Jew was brought into this world. So that's the time to clarify what it is. And we have to have aspirations. A Jew should live in a level of bitul, to nullification to Hashem. But Hashem created you and He put you in the world and He wants you to be alive. Embrace it. And then you aspire. What do you want your aspirations to be? So if a person says, I want to be a tzaddik or tzaddikah, I want to be righteous, I want to be holy, no problem, that's great, that's an amazing thing to do. Just clarify why. Is it for the title? Is it for the money? Is it for the respect? Or is it because that's what you're sent to this world to do? I want to help people heal. I want to do art. I want to work and provide for my family. No problem. Just remember, it's Melech Chafetz B'chaim. It's God that desired that you should have life. It's Hashem that sends that power through you. Your aspirations can be whatever they are. Bring Hashem into it, everything gets elevated. Everything becomes holy. I was talking to someone yesterday. He said to me, it's very hard to work, and it's not the purpose of life to be working. I tell you all, whoever is here, men, I'm looking mainly at you. If you live in this country, your main thing is to make money. It is. Your day to day, that's why you're here. If not, come to Tzfat, come chill with us. As long as you're here, show up for your wives, make the money, hustle, go out, but not without Hashem. And it's not you doing it. It's the bracha of Hashem coming down into this world. No problem, embrace the role. Do what you're here to do. You're in a place that's the energy. Okay, that's the energy. Don't like that, you don't want that to be the focus of your life, so maybe move. Find a different place to go. If you're here, there's certain energies, there's certain things that's what it is. People have these aspirations to go to Eretz Yisrael and to move away, and they want to be a tzaddik, and they want to go there, but you could do that here. You could spend more hours here doing that. You don't have to move away. Everybody here that works also has tons of hours to learn. I was just with my niece. Do an exercise before Rosh Hashana. You might get scared, but I encourage you to do it. Open your phone and check how much screen time you average a day. And then tell yourself what your aspirations are in life and what is life. Just that one thing. No one else needs to see it. It's your own settings on your own phone. It's your own footprint. It's your own fingerprint. But we have to be real. What is our life? What are we aspiring to do? And that goes to the second one. The second work of Rosh Hashana is shofarot. It's the shofar. Anytime we have a mention of the shofar in the Torah, whether it's the Jubilee, whether it's the taking down of the walls of Yericho, anytime we blew a shofar, it's in order to tear away all of the blockages that could be there. That's the goal of the shofar. It's called b'kiyah. Livkoa sha'arim, to break open the gates, to tear up the firmament, to remove all of the layers of concealment that we have over our heart, all of the false pride, whether it's too much ego or not enough ego, low self-esteem and high self-esteem are both ego. They're both still thinking about yourself. To think that you're not worthy, what he said, what she said, they look better doing it, they're doing it more accurate. Hashem doesn't love me, he doesn't want me. To tear all of that off. And you blow the shofar, the tkiyah, it's a tkiyah, it's tokea, you're establishing something, you're sticking it in hard and strong. I want Hashem, I don't want to be separate. I don't want to be separate. And this is not negating the previous step that we talked about the nesirah. The whole point of becoming separate is to turn around and to recognize where you came from. Hashem sent you in this world to reveal Him. And He gives you blessing and flow of blessing and life and health and wealth and food and everything you need. The gratitude and coming back and realizing this is all from you, for you, is the next step. To nullify myself to the point where I don't want to be separate from you, Hashem. I don't want to be separate from you. I want to go all the way to the point where the shoresh of my neshama comes from. I want to be a son. I want to be a daughter. I don't want to just be a servant. It's so hard to keep Torah and mitzvot and to be connected to Hashem when it feels like a commandment. It's not meant to be a commandment. It doesn't have to be a commandment. That's the low level. That's the beginning level. We have to desire to come to a point where we're serving Hashem from a desire to be a ben, to be a bat, to be in the house, to be part of the essence, to not feel separate, to have all the keys to the palace, to be able to go anywhere my Father wants, to feel it, to desire to be close, to not want to feel like it's hard for me to do it. A person that doesn't want to work, that's working in something that they don't want to do, so they struggle doing it. And they have to fight themselves every day to get out the house and to go. That's how we felt in school, from K through 12. I don't want to do this. It's such... Anybody who's tapped into their essence knows what it feels like to do something with no power, to be completely stripped of all koach, to just want to sleep, and you still go, and you still do, because it's the right thing to do and it feels good. It's what you're meant to do. This is life. It's not about I'm being told to do it. I'm not afraid of not doing it. It's what I need to do. It's what I was sent to do. It's what I'm meant to be. To embrace that from a place of complete nullification. I'm realizing that I'm rooted in the highest, loftiest places where there's no blemishes there, where no one's looking at any sins. And that's what Chazal say and the Mekubalim say, when you blow that shofar, the Satan gets confused. All the opposing forces, they get confused. What happened? Mashiach came? Yes, Mashiach came. That's the Mashiach of a Jew. When he realizes that he's rooted in such a lofty place and nullifies all of the externalities to reach the highest shoresh neshama that you're able to reach, the place where there is no separation, where it all makes sense, where it's all good, where there is no problems. Yes, that's Mashiach. Koval nafshi ge'ala. The Baal Shem Tov says we all have to bring our own soul closer to redemption. When we do that, we change the whole entire world. It happens so much faster, the shofar. The shofar is so much quicker than the nesira. It's hard to crown Hashem over every facet of our life and to know that we have a job and we have to do and we have to show up to work and we have to provide for our families and we have to do all of the commitments that we made. It's extremely hard to crown Hashem over every facet of that. And to know that I have to have good aspirations and aspire to be good and to be better and to do more. Not again because it's the commandments and that's what the Torah says. No, because that's what I was created for. That's who I am. That's my essence. It feels good to be tapped into what I'm meant to be doing. That's what I'm meant to be doing. And all of that has to come from a place of, I don't want to feel separate doing it. I don't want it to feel like a commandment, Hashem. And there's 613 mitzvot. Each one of us connect to more than others. In thoughts, speech, and action. The Ben Ish Chai mentions in this week's parasha, Nitzavim, he says there's a few things that are very close to a person to do. They all just depend on unity between the thoughts, the speech, and the action. The thing is very close to you, in your mouth, in your heart, to do it. He brings a few different examples of what hadavar is. Davar in Hebrew means speech, or thing. Why? Because everything in the world was created by the speech of Hashem. So the first thing he says is very close for you to do, if you unify your mouth, heart, and action, is Shabbat. Shabbat came to Hashem and said, every day of the week, got a pair, but in an odd number, so there's one left out. And Hashem said, Am Yisrael is your partner. Am Yisrael is your spouse. Ben Ish Chai says, yeah, for sure, Shabbat will be there for you and Shabbat will give you blessing in your life and everything. When? When you do it with your heart, your mouth, and your actions, unified together. And again, this is each one on their own level. Not that your level is the level. Your level because you're authentically growing towards what it should be. The Torah determines the level. Each one of us are on a journey, our personal journey towards the goal that's been clarified since Moshe Rabbeinu's time. The next thing that's close to a person is mitzvot. In thought, speech, and action. There's some mitzvot that you cannot do, right? A person is not a Kohen, or is not a man, doesn't live in Israel, doesn't own a house in Israel, doesn't want to get divorced. There's certain mitzvot that you don't have to do in action. But all of the mitzvot are very close to you to keep in thought and speech. You can pray on them, you can learn on them, you can meditate on them. And those that you can do, you do them. And then you have a unified body, 613 parts, with a unified soul, 613 parts, with a unified Torah, 613 commandments. It all comes together, like the Abir Yaakov says, like I received from my Rebbe, Rabbi Yoel Turjuman. It all comes together in a complete unity. And the last thing that the Ben Ish Chai says, which is the most important for us right now, is tshuva. If you want to return to Hay, return to Hashem, to do tshuva, it's very easy. Align your mouth with your heart and your actions. Sorry, I want to correct what I said. It's very simple. It's not so easy. It is very simple though. The goal is simple. We all know Hashem is king over the world. But for that king to be far away and give you a book of commandments that you want to keep because you respect the king, he's over there, okay, I don't want to go against it. Like here in Miami, you don't know where you are. In South Beach, if you go 2 miles over, you might have 3 cops behind you. For you in a second, here they're hooting at you if you're going the speed limit. You don't know where you are, right? But there's rules and you want to follow them. Why? Because I'm not trying to get in trouble. I respect society. There's a king to the world. That's not the relationship the Torah wants for you to have with Hashem. That's not what Hashem is desiring. Hashem desires for you to be connected on a much higher level, a much more intense and intimate level. And that happens when we step above that perception of God being some being that gave us a book of rules to follow. When it becomes part of our life, that this is what's healthy for me, this is what's right for me to do. So B'ezrat Hashem, that's the idea of the Nesirah and of the Shofar. If anybody has any questions, we could do that. And if you want to go into meditation, we could also. Ready? Chabad.
So just to be clear, the avoda of the Nesirah is to be cognizant of your entire life, your aspirations, and know that ultimately they're all there as like tzinorot to connect to Hashem, channels and opportunities. That's the Nesirah.
Correct.
That's why it's harder, because you have to think of all the facets. Whereas the shofar, it's almost done to us in a way.
We scream out, and then it's the natural outcome. Right? So the Nesirah is the work of, just to clarify it again, the Nesirah is the work of realizing that right now you're being given the download of all the power you need to act in this world, and decide to do it more aligned with what the Torah and what Hashem is asking of the Jew to do, right? According to your own level. But right now you're being given power for the upcoming year, direct it in the right way. Connect to true life. B'charta b'chaim, like Moshe Rabbeinu says, right? Pick life, choose life. But there's levels of life. And we all know people that are alive, but they're really not. They're not. They walk around and you don't see the life in them. And then you see people that have much less, but they've chosen life. And you can see it on them. So we just have to redirect. Okay, now I'm getting the power. Where am I taking that power? What do I call life? Is it my career, my job? Is it my house, my family? There's no wrong answers. There's just levels of refining that answer. And of placing Hashem in every facet, right? Like we said. That takes more time. It's a little bit of a harder process mentally to get through, right? But once we know, okay, I have a mission in life, I'm going to go do it, and I'm going to full force. Because Hashem gave me life, and this is life, and I'm choosing life, so I'm going to pursue whatever Hashem put me in this world to do. Now I need to nullify myself completely to the source, and I don't want to feel separate. And they're not a contradiction. It's level after level. Like Reb Nachman talks about Yitbodedut. Last night I gave a class on Yitbodedut in Hollywood, Nikudat Tova. The whole idea was Torah Nun Bet, 52 of Likutei Moharan, where Reb Nachman breaks down what is Yitbodedut. And he says there that the process of Yitbodedut is a tool to reach Bitul. It's to reach self-nullification and re-inclusion inside the light of Hashem. Meaning I come to Hashem and I talk out everything that I have on my chest, my aspirations, my downfalls, my likes, what I want to do, everything that I'm going through, my lusts, the people that are coming after me, the way I feel, everything, I talk it out to Hashem and I get it out, until I have nothing left and I'm just re-included back inside my source. The end goal of Yitbodedut should be, I have nothing to talk about. There is no me to talk about. I'm re-included back in source. And when you step away from that, now you're reinvigorated and you have new blood flowing through your system. And you're walking, right? We like to say this in my Beit Midrash in Tzvad, Bitul, be a tool. Be a tool. Be a tool to Hashem. Let Him use you. That only happens when you're able to nullify yourself through connection to Hashem. Not like the monks, 3 months, they don't talk to anybody, they nullify themselves for themselves and there's no outcome of it. Just that they're better at meditating and they know how to do it more. The goal of the Jew when he nullifies himself is to re-include yourself back inside the source, so that when you come back down to fulfill the source's will, you do it with his light, not with your own. And when you go and you work and you have aspirations and you want to be a tzaddik or you want to be a good businessman, you want to make a lot of money to do a lot of chesed, it's not because of you, and that's not your life either. The job's the tool. Like itbodedu, the goal is not to talk to Hashem, the goal is to nullify yourself to Hashem. People don't understand this a lot of times. They think the goal is to talk to Hashem. That's not the goal. That's the tool. The goal is to get to a point where you realize you are rooted in the most pure place where there is nothing wrong and separate from Hashem at all. Pure. Everything's good. And then come back down into the world. Same thing in Rosh Hashanah. The whole work of Rosh Hashanah is that level of bitul. Same thing in Bodhidut, and that's why Reb Nachman got the gift of Rosh Hashanah, right? Because that's the work, is the work of bitul. It's the same thing we do every Shabbat, guys. Every Shabbat we end 6 days that we worked in order to, it's all you, Hashem. It's all you. And I'm going to eat this food that I bought and that we cooked. I'm going to host, I'm going to do, and I'm going to show up to pray even more prayers, and I'm going to be more active. All from a place of recognizing everything in this world is Ein Sof. Ein od milvado. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem. That's the most important word in Shema Yisrael. Echad. Not Hashem's name, Echad. Focus more on Echad. There's nothing. It's not Echad that there's two. It's not one that there's two. It's one. We believe in one. It's extremely important. Simcha. No? Go ahead.
You mentioned something about Tekiah and Tokiah. What was the definition of that? Because you went into that, and then that they're more like repelling all of the opposing forces. How are those two ideas related?
Litkwa in Hebrew means to stick.
Litkwa.
Litkwa is the two. Two?
It's like blockages.
No. Takua is blocked, right? But it's like if you take a peg and you stick it in the wood, that's called litkwa, right? So when you do a tkiyah, what are you doing? I'm tokea, I'm like nailing in my soul, so to say, my essence, my life, at the highest place possible, back in its root. I'm screaming out to Hashem, I belong up there. And I want to feel like I'm up there even while I'm down here. You're tokea, your mitziut, up there in the highest place possible. When you do that, so then all of your externalities go away. The judgments that you could come on to in this world is only if you see yourself as separate from that place. Down here, you're yourself, and you have to do, and you're the one. So then they'll come on Rosh Hashanah and they say, okay, did you do it? Tachlis, did you do it? And how well did you do it? Miss, I'm going to do it, or Mr., I'm going to do it, right? And if you look at other people like that, she did this, he did this. So then in Shemayim they're going to say, what did you do? But when you look at other people, Hashem sent her, Hashem sent him. The success, that was from Hashem. The failure, that was from Hashem. Everything's from Hashem. So then when you get to Rosh Hashanah, everything's Hashem. No deen. Hashem's not going to judge himself. There's nothing to judge. It's all good. If it's Hashem, then it's all good. That was all the master plan. I do my tshuva, I say sorry for being in a part of revelations of negative things, but that was because of this world. I'm distracted, I'm in galut, it's been crazy. I lose my mind, like Chazal say, you can't sin unless you get a ruach shtut that comes inside of you. But it wasn't me. That's not my pnimiyut. That was the chitzoniyut. That was the external aspect. That's not my inner aspect. Comes Rosh Hashanah. Oh, you're a pnimi person? You're an inner person? Internally, you're rooted in Hashem. No din on you. Zakai. And that's why the Satan says, wait, Mashiach got here? There's no more dinim? Yes, exactly. Yes. At that point, if you really do that right, there's no din in that world. Everything you did wrong becomes a mitzvah that brought you closer to Hashem. That's tshuva me'ava. The same negative things that you did, whatever sins you did in the last year, in Shemaim count as mitzvot that brought you closer to Hashem. It's not my words, guys. I'm not some revolutionary. I just repeat things I read. This is Torah. We have to go into Rosh Hashanah with the right mindset. Who is judging us? El Maleh Rachamim. Rachum v'chanun. Infinite mercy. Nothing you could have done wrong could ever scare or bother Hashem. He can take it and handle it all. How do you think about Hashem? How do you judge Hashem? Who do you think He is when He judges you? Judge Judy? It's Hashem. It's Hashem Yitbarach. He loves you more than anything you could ever imagine. And He wants the relationship with you more than you could ever want it with Him. All you have to do is want a little bit more than you want now. And then the next day, a little bit more than that. The Zochenu L'Chaim, this part of the Nesirah affects two different things. One, the person has to pick their aspirations and they have to go out and they have to decide that they want it. On the other hand, there's a lot of people in life that if they don't feel good, if they don't feel like they're connecting to Hashem, and Hashem's not revealing themselves, so then they don't do it. Today I don't feel like praying, it doesn't feel right. Again, everyone on each level, if you pray every single day, you cannot think that way. Relationship with Hashem, that would be like a husband saying, today I don't feel like being a husband. You don't get that choice. You don't get that. Once you become a husband, you never for the rest of your life will be allowed to say that. It would be wrong for you to think that way. Same thing for a wife. Bad days come and go. And on the bad day, no one's expecting you to be number one in the world and to do it all. But what you have to do, and what you've established as that's what I do no matter what, every day I would do it, you cannot give up on that. And at that moment, you have to remember, what are my aspirations? What is true life? So today I don't feel like it. But I don't do it because I feel like it. I don't do it because it's a commandment. I do it because that's what life is. You eat every day, right? Why? 'Cause you know you need to eat. So too, you have to connect to Hashem every day. Each one according to their own level. There's certain things that you took upon yourself. Don't ever move away from them, whether you feel like it or not. Big things, no one's asking for you when you're having a bad day. Just get by. But everyone has to be real with what their own getting by is. If you pray 3 times a day, on a bad day you pray 3 times a day. It doesn't have to be a full shachris with all your might. Okay, you're having a bad day. But if you would have said those 100 pages anyway, so you say them today as well. That leaves you in a relationship with Hashem. That helps you also with relationships in life. A lot of people want to get married and they don't have a relationship even with Hashem. We have to develop the most important parts of our lives. That trickles down to everything else. Everything else. Show up for Hashem every day. You become a better spouse. You become a better parent. Be merciful like Hashem is. You'll also do it. And we all know we have that drive in us. There's scientists that sit inside a lab. They never get any recognition. They barely get any money. No honor. But they're masul. They're like, I need to get this done. I enjoy the process of cracking this code, even if nothing comes out of it. This is a question I had. I'm going to go all the way in. Years of research. No one knows their name. Trust you, it's not just for to get their name in the journal that 12 people in the world read. Right? It's not that. So where does that come from? Edameh le'elyon. I will be like my master, what's up above. Hashem creates, Hashem does, Hashem has mercy. So too I want to do it. That's the most natural human thing that everybody in the world has. But that has to tap in also when you don't feel like it. Because at your core, you just want to be like Hashem. And even when it doesn't make sense, you still do your research as a scientist. And you still show up as a wife in the house as a wife. And you still show up to work as a man. And you do what you have to do. Zat Hashem. What's up, guys? Please, come on.
Any tools on how to get into that mindset for davening? Like even if you get into the mindset throughout this week, and then you're doing all the physical things to prepare, and you get to davening, and there's all these different energies or distractions or noises in shul. What would you recommend to get into that state of mind during the davening time to maximize it or to really tap into the energy of the day?
If you have any time to review the Siddur before Rosh Hashana, it would be a good thing to do. So just go through it. You can skim through it even. But to be a little bit more familiar with it. And while you're actually there in shul, to, for sure, 100%, this goes for everybody here, don't talk in shul. Why? If you really believe that God is present there in a strong way, how could you be in a conversation with another person? A lot of times our physicality triggers our inner working. And if you think it's a social club, so then it's not going to feel like a synagogue. It's going to be a social club. So I would say guard your mouth. You're not there to talk. You can socialize outside the doors, and you can go do your own thing. Try to be in that place. Like this is a sanctuary for certain people. When they walk inside this beautiful little hut, right, it feels a certain way. It's like that, because this place was created with intention. So a synagogue is holy of holies. It was created to be holy. Step in that mindset, and it doesn't matter who else is there. You can very nicely say to the person, sorry, it's Rosh Hashana, I'm trying not to talk. That's not rude, that's not inconsiderate. That is probably the best thing you could ever do in a synagogue. From no rebuke, no judgment, I'm just sorry, I'm really here to talk to God. There's signs in our synagogue that say, it's forbidden here, here we talk during prayers to God. Right? So that would be another thing. And also breathing. Breathing. Just being conscious of your breath and slowing it down while you're in shul and while you're going through the prayers slows everything down and will allow you to have more intention with the words that are in front of you. But if you get caught up in just trying to flip pages, and just to break the ice a little bit, there's a little joke. A guy came to his Rebbe and says, Rebbe, maybe we just this year we're going to edit the Sidurim and we'll take out all the pages that no one says. He says, God forbid. Wow, that's a strong response, Rebbe. Why so strong? He said, to take away the joy that a Jew has to skip a few pages on Rosh Hashana and Yom Kippur, God forbid to do that. So there's a lot there, right? But getting a little bit more familiar with it and then making the space mean something, the day means something, and the words in front of you mean something by slowing everything down and being super focused on it, not in a stressful way, right? That's not what Hashem wants. Hashem wants joy. It's peace. But sometimes we need to super focus in order to tap into that place, to block out the world a bit. Hope that helps. Anything else, guys? Tov. Zat Hashem. Meir, is there any chance, they said that there's a Wi-Fi music system here?
Yeah.
Can you man it?
You want me
Yeah, if you could get on Spotify, the Yanuka playing piano. That's all we need in life. Yanuka, Y-A-N-U-K-A. Yeah, that would be good too.
Should we record a new recording? Or?
No, leave it like this, fine. Is it still recording? I might not even have space. Doesn't sound like him, bro. Yeah, there should be just, if there's any Yanuka music on there, it's perfect, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. So if you guys want, whoever's been sitting down, if you want, you don't have to, move a little bit to get a little bit more free, let the blood flow a little bit, get comfortable. We've been sitting for a while. When you're ready, just try to get comfortable, get seated in whatever seat you have. It would be good if you had a back to it or some kind of straightness. You don't want to be slunched. And just try to really get settled into the seat. Get grounded in it. And when you're ready, just close your eyes. And give a nice big sigh out. Anytime we inhale, we're going to inhale through the nose very lightly, very, very slowly. Slower than you can imagine. Inhale through your nose to the top of your lungs. And all exhales are going to be out the mouth for now as a sigh, okay? Push out one more time. We're going to do 3 nice, super slow inhales to the top of the lungs. You're a vessel, you can hold much more than you think. Slowly inhale, you just keep filling yourself up with the light of Hashem, the light of hope. Let the light spread around, relax yourself, and now just get into a flow with your breathing, inhaling again through the nose without the hold. Just want to inhale into the nose very slowly, fill up, and when you're ready, exhale out. You don't need a sigh, you can just let it out slowly through the mouth. Try to get into a rhythm of an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Every breath, you're taking in more of the lights of Hashem, more lights of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And with every exhale out, you're pushing out any blockages you might have, any regret you have. Anything holding you back. Imagine a light of Hashem coming down, a ray of light coming from up above down, surrounding you on all sides. The most tranquil, calm, validating, warm, welcoming light possible. With every breath, another wave of relaxation coming over you, melting more and more into your seat, letting go more and more of everything you're holding on to, being held by this light that's surrounding you. And as you inhale, you're pulling in from this light that's surrounding you, in slowly through your nostrils to fill up your lungs and to cool your heart, to allow new oils to ascend up to your mind. Imagine this light coming now in through your 7 gates. Your eyes, your ears, your nostrils, your mouth, purifying all of your thoughts, emotions, and actions, providing a level of balance. Filling up your mind with the most beautiful, tranquil light of Hashem, purifying the brain, the moach, the 48 hours of Rosh Hashana that we're commanded to have pure thoughts of joy. To think good about Hashem, to know that He loves me more than I could ever imagine. All He desires is connection. Ready and willing to forgive and to let pass everything that was in return for a good thought and a good word and a good prayer. For a desire to connect. on one side to know that everything is Hashem. The light of Hashem flowing through every single creation, every facet of my life. All the power I'm receiving is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And on the other side, I have to take all of this light and every blessing that I was given to embrace it, to run with it, to act and to do. And it's only up to you. Make a prayer that these thoughts will always be there, that they'll never separate. Be there to give you balance in life, to know that the whole entire world was created for you. And on the other hand, we're just dust and ashes. And draw this light down of Hashem deeper into you, through your neck into your heart. To aspire and to take this breath deeper in, to rest inside my heart, to connect to Hashem from a place of love, and to go much stronger and better and more powerful into all of the things that make me special and make me unique in this world. To maximize the blessings and the talents I was gifted. And to protect myself from ever going away from that. From ever allowing myself to fall to a place where I don't connect to my source and what I'm meant to be here for. To know this world is not a free-for-all. We're here on a mission, we're here with a purpose, and tapping into that purpose is life. That's the essence of life. To feel the embrace of Hashem, the constricting arms and limitations that are around me, protecting me, that express the most love in the world, the hug of Hashem, tightening more and more with infinite love radiating through that action. And finally, to bring this light down, trickle it down even more to our root. To know that we have to persevere and push and be tenacious and to not give up on this mission. To have emunah even when it gets dark and even when it feels like I'm not loved and I'm distant from Hashem. To know that I'm infinitely loved and nothing could ever cover that up. To know that Hashem's with me in every place I go, every situation I find myself in. Giving me all of the power I need to overcome any battles and any struggles and any concealments I'm experiencing. To recognize that I have to look beyond the vanity and the externalities of this world, and to pray to find the inner beauty of Yerushalayim that's revealed in everything, the light of the Shekhinah, the gold that radiates off the stones of this world. To make space for others, to give in to the will of Hashem and to admit the truth. En od milvado. To know that I'm connected to Hashem in everything that I do in my life, even if I feel it or not. There's nothing in the world that could ever detach me from my source and my root. I'm ganuz be'elokut, completely wrapped up in godliness. To find it in the food, in the relationships, in the drinking, in the eating, the sleeping, in my business, in my house, in my spouse. in traffic, on a walk, at the beach, in my healing, to connect it all back to the source. That one source that's pure and good, holy, sanctified. Tzaddik u'matzdik. And to be happy with everything I have and whatever level I've already reached. To accept myself with love, to tap in more to what I was created for. To accept that I'm here on a mission, but to accept it. To make the decision that this is what I want to do, because it's what I'm meant to do. And to be happy doing it. To sing, to crown Hashem over me. To run away from depression and laziness. To know that whenever those things come up, I have to do something. I have to make an action. I have to take things into my own hands. I can't fall. I can't let it slide. Ein shum yaush. Sheva yipol tzaddik vekam. The holy and righteous people of the world get back up. And they keep fighting, and they keep doing. To make an acquisition of this light, send up a tefillah to Hashem that it should stay with you. To purify your being, to stay in this holy mindset, this holy alignment. When you're ready, look above you and have intention to accept upon yourself the mitzvah from the Torah. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim. It's Hashem that took you out of all of your restraints. It's Hashem that took you out of all of your problems. It's Hashem that's going to bring you to Eretz Yisrael. Hashem's always going to be there to take you out of whatever you're going through. Keep this consciousness above your head right now as if it's the roof of a ceiling in a room. Look below you to the floor. And place below you another mitzvah. Lo yeh lecha Elohim acherim al panai. To not have any other beliefs and powers and gods besides Hashem. It's below you as a Jew to look down and to seek from any other source. You're connected to the King. You don't need anything else. When you're ready, look forward in front of you, adding another face to this cube. The mitzvah leyached shemot, to unify Hashem's name. I count down to 3. When you're ready, you can let out a Shema Yisrael. 1, 2, 3. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shiviti Adonai lenigdi tamid. Nothing I could ever experience in my life is separate from Hashem. There is no mental, emotional, and spiritual or physical state I could find that I'm not connected to Hashem. Whatever I perceive to be the good, the bad, the ugly, it's all Hashem. Shiviti Adonai lenigdi tamid. And whenever I feel pain, I close my eyes like every single creature in the world. But when we close our eyes, we tap into Shema Yisrael. It's a place of unity where there is no pain. When you're ready, turn to your right, form another face of this cube. מצווה ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבביך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. To love Hashem with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your might, everything that makes you up. To feel the love of Hashem through all the blessings He brings down on you every day. The love of the Torah that gives us the most amazing, pure guidance. And the love for every Jew in the world. The love for the world as a whole. It's Hashem's world. And He said it's Tov Meod, it's very good. To know that you're loved infinitely, no matter what you did or will do. Look to your left, form another cube, another face to this cube. Mitzvah, liyira oto, to have awe of Hashem, to see Hashem in your life. To know that there is no place in the world you could find yourself without Hashem's presence being there, watching over you. And yes, expecting good, wanting good for you, wanting you to choose the right path. To have a healthy fear of ever losing that connection, or ever covering it up for myself or others in this world. To realize I'm here on a mission and I have a purpose. It's to serve Hashem, to reveal Hashem and to see Hashem. And the last face of the cube on the 6 cities of refuge. Behind you. Al tatu rachel levavchem ve'acharei einechem. Mitzvah from the Torah to not be seduced and startled and pulled away by your eyes and your heart. We need our eyes, we need our heart to be excited for Hashem, to be passionate about our connection, to find beauty in that. And the more we look away, the harder it becomes to take those eyes and those heart back to its proper place. To connect L'nei Kol Yisrael, to Bereshit, to wrap the Torah up and make the live. Whenever you feel a disconnect, you feel like you lost your emunah, you can always run to the 6 cities of refuge and be surrounded by Elokut, to tap back into God consciousness, to know Hashem is one, there is no other, to know He's everywhere and up and down, to love Him, to awe Him, and to keep your focus on Him. Take this light and spread it to your family. Send it out to those that need it. To your community. To all of Am Yisrael. To the soldiers. To all the hostages wherever they are in the world. The light of Hashem, the light of hope, the light of connection, the light of joy. When you're ready, you just take a nice few breaths to regulate and come back down. You can open your eyes when you're ready. I highly recommend for everybody, if you can, to give a little, say a little Tehillim, to do some kind of action, to keep that light and to hold on to that light. I'm going to stick around for anybody who wants to talk, questions, anything, privately, one-on-one. I'm in no rush to get out of here. I'm here, going to stay here for every one of you if you need. So don't feel pressured. If you do need to go and you see someone else who's a little bit, has more time, say it to them. Let them know it's okay. I'm here for you, and let's discuss. Let's go deeper. And it's very hard for me to do this after such a beautiful experience. But the truth is, I do this very well from Tzfat, through a computer and a camera. The reason I came all the way here to the US is to try to help raise funds for the family of Tzfat, to put food on the table for the upcoming Chagim, and to try to support our efforts in the yeshiva as well. The majority of the money is going to be going to families in Tzfat to help provide for the Chag. I have sheets here if you want for Zelle, Venmo, and an online credit card option. Please open your hearts and your pockets if you can. It's a big mitzvah. You're helping a lot of people that really, really, really need it. Some of you have lived in Tzfat, some of you have visited Tzfat. You know what it's like. And I'm just here to try to do my part. Cash also is acceptable. B'ezrat Hashem, all of it's going to get there. Sorry for that disclaimer, but it is part of the reason I'm here. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. B'ezrat Hashem. זוכן לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וחוד מנו